that I can say he should do to say he's done it all.
He won that championship. That was it.
You can do everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch the Wild and Odom, did I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch the Wild and Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. I said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again.
Yo. Hey, we're about to get started here in a second, man. Hey, make sure y'all on YouTube because I'm bringing everybody on the show today, man. I'm bringing everybody on the show, man. Make sure y'all get over to YouTube. I'm giving everybody a chance to shout their team out, shout your kids out. Y'all give me a second. We're going to get... Over YouTube, I'm about to shoot the link. I'm about to pin it to the chat on YouTube, man. Get to the chat on YouTube, man. I see y'all in here. Make sure y'all go to YouTube. I'm pinning the link in the chat on YouTube. I'm doing it right now. Good to be back. It'll be good to kick it with y'all, man. We're going to get busy. Y'all hold tight. Love the Game podcast on YouTube. Make sure y'all get over there. I'm pinning the link in the chat right now. Link to join the show. Going in the chat right now. I'm pinning it to the top of the chat on YouTube right now. There it is. It's in there. How do I pin this shit? Link to join the show in the chat. Get active. I want to see y'all in the chat, man. Make sure y'all go in the chat, man. Go over to YouTube. I got the link for y'all on the show. It's in the YouTube for y'all. Let's check our kids out. We're going to get busy. Basketball season going crazy already. College basketball going crazy. Anybody watch the press conference for Georgia Tech? I'll drop a 1 in the chat if y'all seen that, bro. Georgia Tech, one of the biggest jobs in the country, man, right here in the city. We're going to talk about it. Hold on. Let me get right. Hold on. There we go. There we go. We locked in. I want to know who had the best run at OTR, man. Drop your team name in the chat. Let me see who had the best run at OTR. I got the records pulled up though, so you can start counting. We're gonna put your name on the Summer Jam screen. Now I'll share that. Who went undefeated? No, I'm gonna talk about my Louisville Cardinals a little bit too, bro. Y'all gonna have to stop with that. Got the most important job in Georgia basketball. Just got filled at Georgia Tech. Damon Stoudemire just got the job at Georgia Tech. One of the most important jobs in all of basketball. And we're gonna talk about why. We're gonna get to it. Get ready to go. Hey man, don't get fooled. That Georgia Tech job open because they got some problems recruiting the state, man. Don't get fooled by what's on that roster, bro. That ain't no disrespect to any player on the current roster. We're just talking about what it is. Smart move, bad move, hiring Damon Stoudemire. I ain't mad at it. I got some guys I wanted to get that job, but I ain't mad at it. We're gonna get to it though. We're gonna talk about the roster. We're gonna talk about the coaching staff. I don't think it was really up to the kids. I think the kids play hard, man. They did what they're supposed to do. It's a lot that goes into. We're gonna talk about that too. It's a lot that goes into to being able to recruit Georgia, to being able to get the kids that you need to win in Georgia, and to be able to get some motion like you're supposed to have it. Man, we're gonna get on that too. We're gonna get on that too. I keep hearing, man, what's your name don't have no issue recruiting Georgia. Make an argument. Hold on, man. Let's get into it, man. We're gonna get into the Georgia Tech hire. We're gonna circle back and get to the opening from OTR, man. I miss y'all, man. I see these messages coming in. Come on, play the OTR. I'm bringing you on. We dropping that link. This the time. Everybody were asking. Now we get to it. Dre, bring me on the show. Bring me on the show, Dre. Hey, man, now the time, big dog. Jump over to YouTube. Yeah, from the top of the chat. You're gonna put your camera on, dog. We're gonna put your name on it, dog. Hold on. Go over to YouTube. Love of the Game podcast. We're gonna pin that to the top of the chat, big dude. Go on and jump in. I'm gonna tell y'all something about press conferences too. We're gonna talk about that too. The power of the press conference. The press conference. You don't win a championship hiring a new coach in March. You can't win or lose a championship when you hire your coach in March. But you can tell me a lot about your based on how the press conference goes. And I'm telling you, I listen to all of them. I listen to all the press conferences, man. It's fascinating stuff. You gotta be able to read through the coach speak though. Like if you're paying attention to the coach speak, you're gonna get caught up and you're not really gonna get the gems out of it that you need. You gotta fast forward past the coach speak, man, and you got to understand how to find the real gems out of these press conferences, these introductory press conferences, because it's a lot there. Like we're gonna get to this Georgia Tech press conference, and we're gonna talk about it. There's a lot there. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hold on, AD, link in the chat, big dog. Jump on that link, big dog. I'll pull you in. I'll pull you in. I see you, bro. Hold on, let me give something to the guy, man, for jumping in. Let me give something to the guy. Hold on, AD. Hold on, AD. There we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Believe the hype. Believe the hype. Boy in here. Boy in here. I want to know what y'all got on y'all roster, bro. This Georgia Tech hire is gonna affect all of us. There's not a player in the state that this hire is not gonna impact. Really, they had the ability to possibly shake up the nation um, with this hire, depending on who they got. I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on why. I'm not against this out of my hire at all. I get it. I totally get it. Not against it at all. Anybody who gets a opportunity to learn from one of the best point guards that ever do it, I totally get it. But there's some gems in that press conference. If y'all didn't listen to that press conference, there's some gems in there, and it ain't got nothing to do with Coach Stoudemire. It ain't got nothing to do with Coach Stoudemire. See, y'all forget, bro. This college basketball thing, bro. Like, it's not just the head coach. I know everybody wants to focus on the head coach and make it all about the head coach. It takes so much more than that to be successful at this thing, bro. It takes so much more than that. It takes a lot to really be successful in this thing, dude. Like, it's not just your head coach. Now, hey, he gonna take the fall. He gonna take the credit, if it goes really good, but he gonna take the fall when it goes bad too. We're gonna talk about all that. When it goes bad, you know, he gonna fall. But it may not be all his fault. The question's gonna be: Is Damon Stoudemire positioned to succeed? Are they put him in the best chance to be successful? Is he the guy that they needed? Are they the school that he needs? Is Georgia Tech still Georgia Tech? Is everybody locked in? I got questions. AD, I'm gonna get you on first, man. Come on, bro. Are we doing that? I'm gonna take a look at something. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Let me pull this up real quick. Are we here, bang? Look at this. This is the Georgia Tech roster. This is the men's basketball roster from 2023-2024 for Georgia Tech. Now, so many people have made hold on, where the link? It should be at the top of the chat, man, in YouTube. If you go to the live chat, AD, it should be at the top of the chat. I'm gonna drop it in here again, bro. Hit that link in the chat for me, big dog. I'm gonna bring you in. So listen, I'm gonna ask a question because everybody has said that the problem for Tech is that they're not doing what's expected of them in regards to recruiting Georgia, right? That's what everybody is saying. That's the word on the street is they have to do a better job of recruiting Georgia. I'm gonna ask like what do you mean? You know what I mean? Like when I scroll this roster, it's some Georgia names on this roster. So what exactly are we saying when we say that? There were questions in the press conference. There were questions about recruiting and returning Georgia Tech to its former glory in recruiting. So what are we saying? What are we saying? As I look at these names on the roster and I look at the Georgia kids on this roster, what we trying to say? I saw Kyle Sturdivant and Lance Terry play in the AABL, and both of them was going crazy. Kyle Sturdivant and Lance Terry was both going crazy over the summer in AABL. Look ready. Look ready to me. I ain't gonna cap. I'm gonna tell you what they're saying. I ain't gonna I ain't gonna run from it. Like I'm gonna tell you what's actually being said, bro. Like I'm gonna tell you what they mean when they say that. Now I'm not gonna tell you if people are right or wrong. Everybody got an opportunity to feel how they feel, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what they mean when they're talking about Georgia Tech not recruiting Georgia, but it's a bunch of Georgia kids on this roster, bro. I ain't calling them by name out, but like if y'all from around the way, it's a bunch of Georgia kids on this roster, bro. But we're gonna talk about what that means. Oh, I see you, bro. I see you, bro. AD in here. We going. Hold on. I'm gonna come back to this. AD, what up, bro?
Yo, what's going on, Dre?
Hey man, you got it. You got it. You got it.
Hey,
Man, I was out of town for the opening. I was out of town. We had a thing at my son's school, so I had to be out of town, man. But I got a lot of texts. I heard a lot of what was going on, but like
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me what the deal was, man. How was the opening?
Hey man, the opening, on the radar gonna put on a good show every time. The opening was good for us, man. Coming off of how we came last year, I wasn't expecting nothing much, with the schedule and everything we got, we earned. I think we did that this weekend. I think we woke some people up, woke some people back up. The way we played, I think we played solid basketball the whole tournament. Had some good wins, uh, and did it the right way. Defensive, play hard. I think this roster that I got a couple kids that's on here that's gonna scare some people. Not scare them in a bad way, but you're gonna hear about them all spring. I think this group right here, as long as we keep everybody here, you got your free agency, AAU portal, and everything. But right now, everybody happy. I ain't got no egos on the team. Everybody locked in. But they finna find out on that bottom line. You gotta believe the hype. They finna find out.
Hey, bro, is that not crazy that the AAU transfer portal is a real thing?
I know it was a real game after game two for some of these teams. It was a real game after game two. Like you had people talking after the first day, so it's definitely something out here now. That's just something you got to deal with when you get
Hey, they
involved.
jumping out the boat that early, bro. They looking for a life raft that early.
Some of these kids really don't be believing what they really supposed to be doing, and the independent teams like us, that just gonna play it the right way, do what we got to do. Then now they want to come. They don't want to come to no tryouts, but if they see the work getting done, now they want to come.
Hey, let me see if I can look on y'all schedule and see the win that made people want to start showing up, bro. Let me.
You gonna see it. You gonna see it. It's one of them that like, oh damn, okay, yeah.
Hey, hold on, bro. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me see which win had your phone blowing up, dog. I don't want to put nobody out there, dog, but I just want to see.
Just check the scores. It's all love to everybody, but for us and me this weekend, it really just like I text Ty, I told Sean, like I ain't mad at the schedule I got. I know how I ended last year and everything, but I got a point to prove. I told them, I was telling them Tuesday, I said, y'all gonna give me a schedule after this weekend. Like, so, I came out there with a point to prove, and, we played defense, and, we made games over by the 5-minute mark before second half was done. So we came to get the smoke. I want the smoke all. I want every team. Any team that want me, I want them.
Hey, that's what I like to hear, big dog. Hey, bro, that's the type of spice that I like to hear after the opening, dog.
Hey man, it ain't no running. We ain't ducking nobody. We playing them all every game, every time.
Hey man, I see you in here, Mark. Hold on. Mark, I see you in here, bro. Hey, go to the top of the chat and grab that link. Hit the link and come on in, bro. Just make sure your camera turned on. I ain't letting nobody in if your camera ain't turned on. If you're gonna say it, I'm gonna make you stand on it. You gotta show your face.
Hey, you see this shirt? Hype it all day, every day, man. We got some good pieces, man. So, I think they're going to have a good summer. We're going to get some kids up out of here by May and get them in college and get them all set and sewn. But, man, for now, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. Every single one of them you're going to feel.
We're going to put the schedule up, big dog. Let's put the schedule up. That's one thing a lot of people don't understand, though, Mark, is that, and I've had these conversations even like, inside of my own organization, that it's like, bro, OTR is no joke.
Nah.
Like, it is no joke. So if you go and you don't win, you might not have a schedule that you want.
Exactly.
Like
no favoritism. You got to earn it.
Yeah, you got to fight for that. Like, it's not going to just be, you know what I mean? I'm trying to make this jump bigger. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're gonna make this jump bigger. I ain't trying to embarrass nobody showing scores, bro. I just, hey man,
We all go through it.
it's
I ain't got
first
I ain't
weekend.
got beat. I ain't got beat too.
First
So
weekend.
uh,
First weekend. Hold on. I gotta. We're gonna bring this joint up. Do it right. I gotta get used to the screen sharing, John. Hey, Mark, you see that link, bro? Just hop in, man. I'll drop it again if you need it. There we go. This is the one I want. All right, big dog. Hey, so we see these teams all the time. So like, no disrespect to anybody on your schedule, but I know what you mean when you say, "Hey, I ain't tripping on the schedule. We're gonna play everybody, and we're gonna prove it." Like, it
yeah,
ain't a disrespect to you know, um, Georgia Magic or the Timberwolves or Tri City Elite or anything like that, or you know what I mean. It ain't no disrespect to nobody.
none of it.
Y'all don't played a whole lot of main court games. You know what that ESPN court looked like, and I can imagine when you looked at the schedule, you knew you wasn't about to be on the ESPN court.
Exactly, exactly. We playing after the big games. The games when everybody on the court, and then your game, everybody leaving. It's one of those game schedules, and it's cool. Like you gotta earn to be on those big courts, and it's cool. But now with them scores, yeah, I need that big court. I need that main court.
Yeah, and I ain't calling it out. I can see which one had the kids like, hey, coach, hey, I want to try to lock in my spot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I told you it's gonna be C1 at and they got a solid squad. So going into it, you see, how it go, the warm ups and everything, how it go. It look good. Then that ball gets tipped off.
Hey, everybody got to play, man. I wish I could describe how much of a dogfight like that OTR is, man. From the very beginning, like
Yep.
it's some teams, and I want to tell people this too. And just because you beat a team in the opening, bro, mess around and get them on your schedule again a live period, and you'll get smacked.
Smack, smack.
like like
Every game is a different game, man.
it,
Every game a different game. But
dudes are
like I
still
said,
putting it
man,
together
like I said, I respect those, and I know they after hearing this, they gonna want me again. So we got to be prepared for that. So at the end of the day, you got to be prepared every weekend. You don't know who you gonna match up. On the radar, gonna give you a good schedule, and hey, man, it's all of that every time, every weekend.
for sure. Hey man, tell me about your team, man. Tell me about your kids, bro.
So I got a couple unsigned seniors, a couple, went to prep school. I got Jaquim Payne back right now. Before he decides what he's gonna do with the D1 or accepting the JUCO offer. I have Michael Hoover. I think Michael Hoover is gonna be one of the top prospects this spring. He just coming off of winning a state championship with Kingsridge. And when I say once he lock in, I mean, there's no stopping him. He had games of 25, 20, 3 games of 25 this weekend. I mean, he's a dog. He won every rebound. He's going to go get it. And he just played it right way. I got my young boy, Jacob Bryant. He just he do it all. He do it all. He want to play defense. He gonna put the shots up. He gonna do everything you want. He can guard and shoot. I got a kid out of Hillgrove, Sean Smith, that was a great addition to us. Great addition, point guard. Coach Moultrie, me and him talked about what he wanted out of him, and I think he's gonna have a great spring. Create that buzz that he needs. Makai Kraft out of Columbia, point guard. They just went 30-2, so winning pedigree. Going to play it the right way, going to guard the fan. And his jump shot is looking 10 times better than it was last year. So now he's the fastest guy with the ball on the court. Now he got pace, and now you can't just let him shoot. Elijah Davis out of Archer, he's a knockdown shooter, lefty. We have a couple of Ty Holmes from Johns Creek, shooter. I really think I'm probably gonna have one of the best shooting teams in the state, and that's just how I feel. I mean, I think they all bring everything all the time, and it's gonna be a good another kid, Amir Rosa from Sprayberry. So I got him all over. Will Cons from Alpharetta, and he's a dog. Defense, want to play defense, gonna block everything. And we got a good squad right now, man. I think there's no egos on this team, and you know how you could go egos. I have no egos. Nobody playing selfish. They swinging the ball, and man, they just rocking right now, man. They rocking, and that AJ Bowie was down 6 going into halftime.
Hey, so
Defensively.
I gotta ask you, AD too, man. Like, does it make you more comfortable being good early, or does it make you nervous actually being good early? I've seen it go both ways for me, bro, personally.
Hey, man. It's nervous because only team's gonna get better. So the competition only gonna get better. So it's a nervous being this good right now because it's like, okay, we practice hard and everything, but they just went 4-0. Teenage boys, high school kids that they just went 4-0. So you can't tell them nothing. So until they get that first loss, they're gonna go into every game like we good.
Right.
So I just think you gotta deal with the whole thing and make sure they keep their head focused and understand the ultimate goal is to get to college. So ain't no let up. So I think we got a good group. Like I said, we got a winning pedigree around this whole team. State champion, Final Fours, all around this team. So I think it's a good group.
No question, bro. Hey, so outside of hype, man, who was the best team that you saw this weekend outside of y'all?
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Huncho and Wood Elite.
I heard Huncho got a stick.
Hey, Huncho got that thing. They bringing it. Huncho got it. Like top to bottom. I mean, Brandon Lou looks like a grown man amongst boys. Like it really don't look fair. Like he plays with a dog, and he's really good and calm. Like you can't change his motor. He plays hard, man. Michael Tucker play hard. On both sides. Love the way he played. Ant from Grayson play hard. They just dogs. Like you got dogs that are on shoot teams that are dogs. Like don't care. Like yeah, I'm a shoot team, but I'm gonna play. And then you got Wood Elite, man. They got that thing popping over there right now. They got it popping. The coaching staff over there, and I mean, I've been seeing a lot, but that kid Destin from Walnut Grove
can play. He can play.
He got it. I mean, he back to the basket game, using his body good, can shoot it. And then the kid from Hiram, I think that's his name, from Hiram, the guard, the wing. I mean, I can't think of his name right now, but he got that thing. That was a battle. That was a good game to watch. So I enjoyed watching them play, going up and down. And then Middle Georgia Magic, I mean, they have pieces. They got good pieces. That Tobias kid is good. I mean, he can play. So there's a lot of teams that was out there that put on a show. But if I said who stood out, it was Huncho and Wood Elite for me.
Heard a lot about them. Wood Elite trying to expand, get multiple teams in it too. I like it, man. I like it. Somebody got to tag him and get him on the show today, because I know he ready to talk his shit. After Cherokee went to the state championship.
Oh yeah. Spencer don't talk. He did it. I mean, he got them boys. I mean, like you said, Cherokee get to the championship game, man. It's hats off to what he did to them Cherokee boys and turned them into some dogs, man. And I mean, you wasn't hearing about Cherokee until he got out there. So
that's facts. Hey, AD, man, I appreciate you, big dog. I appreciate you jumping in. Hey, you got anything to say about this, about Georgia Tech hiring Damon Stoudemire, man? We're going to get to it, but.
I saw old school say, man, it's a safe hire. It's a safe hire. It looked good for the public. It does its job on getting somebody that can do it uh, instead of finding somebody that's the right fit, the right person. It would have been lovely to get a Kennesaw, a mayor over there, somebody that's connected to the Atlanta sports, especially the high school sports. I mean, because as you see, you recruit Georgia, you would still win to win, man. It's so much talent here. You don't have to really recruit outside of Georgia. It's kind of like how Florida is with college football, man. Florida kids stay in Florida. It's just Georgia Tech needs to, get it right. So I hope he can. I know his pedigree says he can, but like old school said, it's a safe hire uh, for that.
Got you. Got you. All good, big dog. We're gonna holler though, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
I bet. Coach AD. I gotta bring on. We talking about some high level basketball. I gotta bring on the McDonald's All American game correspondent. Dog, come on, man. I can't have a dude in the circle going to the McDonald's All American game and we don't ask about the Georgia Tech, trying to get a Georgia Tech breakdown and what they need to do and who they need to recruit. Hey, Big Dave, you moving around, big dog. What's good with you, bro?
Hey man, just trying to get these frequent flyer miles so I can get a free ticket. You know what it is.
Hey man, I see, bro. What you got this weekend, man? What's the travel schedule look like, bro?
This weekend is on the women's side. I'll be in Greenville at the NCAA regionals. Get to see South Carolina live and direct this weekend.
Got you.
Then from there, bro, a quick little hike home, and then it's on over to Texas. Got a bunch of stuff going on there in Texas. McDonald's game, of course. And then from there up to Dallas for the women's Final Four. We're holding an unsigned event for post-grad, JUCO, and transfer portal on Thursday. Back to Houston that Saturday for the same thing on the men's side. So, I'm trying to be like Mark. Mark's the hustler. You know what I mean?
Hey man, hey, for any of y'all in the viewing on the stream, big dog, jump in the YouTube chat, go over to YouTube, Love the Game podcast, jump over to YouTube, man, and join on the show, big dog. If you coached in OTR this weekend, big dog, we want to hear from you. So, hey man, I need everybody in the chat to go tag my man from Wood Elite, bro.
Oh, Spencer.
Hey, please tag him, bro. We got to get Spencer on here.
All right.
I know he got some shit going. It's time, bro. It's time.
I saw them, bro. I like them, bro.
It's time, bro. Like, he's got to get it off. like I need everybody tagging him, bro. Everybody tag him and tell him to jump in here. It's time to have him get it off, big dog.
Yeah.
Dave, we was just explaining, and Mark, you too, big dog. I know, you being a Georgia guy, Mark. We was just talking about the Georgia Tech hire, and as soon as we talk about the hire, it's like we can't even get 5 minutes into the conversation before people talk about recruiting. Like AD was just saying, it's like, oh, recruit Georgia. Well, I'm gonna put this back on the screen. And I don't want to call nobody out. We're not trying to, definitely not expecting a player, but like this is the roster, bro.
Right.
Are we not seeing names from Georgia?
Now you are. But like I don't know if you could see what I said when I first got on it, because I was on Twitter and I said it like, no disrespect, like it's guys on the roster from Georgia, but it's not the right guys, if that makes sense. And like for me, Dre, like how I always viewed it, right? Like it's too many good players in Georgia that leave the state to either one go play in the same conference as Georgia Tech, or they go and they don't play Power 5, but they can very much well play at Tech. And that'd be my issue, right? Like, I feel like, to me, I was having a conversation with Stroud, right? I said, if you're Tech, I understand you may not get the Ashton Hagens of the world, you know, the super Power 5 kids, right? But there's guys like JD Notte, Caleb Murphy, that you can't let them lead the state. You can't let Walker Kessler lead the state. You know, twice. You know, went to UNC, hit the portal, then went to Auburn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't let those type of guys, and those are just off recent memory. You know, we could really, if we really dig deep into it, I could go further. But you got guys like that, like Ian Shefflin, that went to Grayson for 4 years, beat the hell out of Tech twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in your backyard. Grayson is 35 minutes away from Georgia Tech. You know, you can't lose kids like that. Taj Kelly from Grayson, that's at I think he's at Charleston. You can't lose kids like that who are very well able to play at that level. Now, I know a lot of people's pushback is, okay, well, what about the grades? You know, it's hard to get into Tech. That's a conversation within itself. But I feel like Tech doesn't even do a good job of at least initiating those type of players. Like, Davon should not even have to go to Mississippi State and then end up back at Tech. He shouldn't have even left in the first place. And that'd be my issue with, like, Georgia Tech and UGA as well, because there's too much talent in this state that leaves. You know, like UConn has somebody right now, Naheem Aline, that went to South Gwinnett, that went to Virginia Tech first. Now he's at UConn. It's like talent like that can't lead a state. Not when you got that in your backyard.
And I'm gonna touch on that, Mark, real quick. And Dave, I'll let you in, bro. Now I think we starting to hit the nail right with the hammer, big dog. Hey, if y'all on Twitter, man, I see y'all commenting. Trying to see y'all comments on Twitter, big dog. Those are like, it's really hard to see in there. So if y'all can, big dog, if you're on Twitter, man, jump over to YouTube, jump in the chat so we can see your comments, and I can pull you on the show, man. Jump on YouTube, join the stream. We can pull you on, man. You get your comments off, man. You just gotta have your camera on. I think what this really boils down to, like, I'm gonna be the one to call it what it is. Jabari Smith and Isaiah Collier. Number one player in the country is right here in the city. And hold on, bro. I don't want to be flagrant. I don't want to be flagrant. Hold on. I want to be fact-based when we have this conversation, because I don't even know like how this played out. You know what I mean? Hold on a second. Hold on. I like to be fact-based, big dog.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Hold on. I'm going to pull this up. When the number one player in the country is in the city and you're Georgia Tech, point guard you. The school list can't look like this.
Absolutely.
The final list can't look like this. This is, I mean, unless I'm misinterpreting, this is the final four schools, right?
That was on his Twitter when he dropped his finals. USC, Cincinnati, Michigan, UCLA.
No Georgia. No Tech. No, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like,
no schools in the South at all.
Bro, so would this not have been during the Paul Hewitt era? I didn't even go all the way back. I'm not even going to go all the way back to Bobby Crimmins. In the Paul Hewitt era, was this not a lock that Isaiah Collier would be going to Tech? Am I?
At least Georgia Tech will be on there. Let's be fair. At least.
I would agree with that. They would at least be on the list. And to remind people, Paul Hewitt was the one that recruited Chris Bosh Derek Favors, Jared Jack. Like we could, the list goes on as far as how many pros, you know what I mean, were recruited there. And I don't want to. I think, and I'm not here to battle like whether or not the players are good enough, because these are good players. These are players, and I'm talking about the Georgia kids that are already on that roster. These are players that were high major kids, that were highly sought after kids when they came out of high school. Like Kyle Sturdivant was that guy at Norcross. There was a reason why he was going to USC. You know what I mean? So to get him to come back home was not a small thing. Like that's a big thing. So I don't want to minimize that at all. But when people start talking about recruiting, even though they don't say his name, and when I say his name, I'm saying Isaiah's name. Isaiah, Jabari, Bruce are generally who, when I really push people to tell me who they're talking about, like those are the kids that they're talking about as far as like, yo, like this has to stop. We have to stop letting these guys leave the state.
Like for me, Dre and Dave, like what I would say about that, bro, just those two names in particular, right? For me, I'm not mad at that, right? And let me break it down why I say that, right? I understand, like, when you have, because I believe, I don't think Jabari won Mr. Georgia. I think it was Walker Kessler running, right? That year. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Walker Kessler.
Jabari was still here after Walker Kessler left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Walker was a year before.
Okay, so you potentially have, I know Isaiah won, I know Bruce won it. So let's just assume Jabari did for a second. 3 Mr. Georges, right? I understand how that can be hard to keep those type of guys in state, right? Not saying, but I also don't think that Tech or UGA does a good enough job recruiting them. But I can understand, like, okay, like if your dream school is Kentucky or Duke, you know, whatever the case may be, I can understand you saying like, I really want to lead the state. My issue, right, is like, I'll bring up Kennesaw State. Before Amir came in the picture, Chris Youngblood was criminally under-recruited, dog. That's what I mean by like guys like that, right? Guys that can help you win, that's a proven winner in high school. Like, I understand, like, it's going to be hard to keep those Mr. Georges, which I understand, like, from the aspect of, like, okay, you should be able to do it, right? But you can't let somebody like Chris Youngblood, right? You can't tell me he couldn't win in the ACC right now. We just watched what he did at Kennesaw State. You know, that's my issue. You know, you got somebody like AP that's at Wheeler that's going to USC. Guys like that who are really winners at the highest level in Georgia, you can't let them lead the state. Like, you can't let JD, like, you can't tell me that you watched that Newton team that had Isaiah Miller, Ashton Hagans, and JD Note, and you let JD Note and Isaiah Miller lead the state. I can understand
Hagans too.
Right, but that's my thing. Like, I give them some grace and say, okay, like, because, you know, Ashton was committed to UGA. But then when Kentucky came calling, like, okay, that's my dream school. I get it. I give you some grace. But you let his backcourt mate that averaged 20 all year long go to Jacksonville, right? Then he hit the portal, goes to Arkansas, and then he kicks UGA's butt for 2 years. That's my issue, is you let guys like that leave the state. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But Mark, here's the thing, bro. I agree with you 100%. We got to take a step down from that, bro. Just think of Dre with what he just pulled up. A lot of these dudes don't even have them as their top 4 or 5. Let's start there. Let's start there. Like, we're talking, you know, what would be nice, but they're not even in the conversation right now. That's scary, man. And everybody coming to Atlanta, and trust me, I know, and picking us off. Picking us off. To the point, preps are picking us off now.
Hey, so I'm hold on a second. We gotta send out. And Dave, so you right, bro. And I'm gonna push something a little further, right? Trent Flowers just committed to University of Louisville. Georgia kid. Played for Team Honcho. And now Louisville is going crazy. Like, happy days are here again. They celebrating in the street. And if I'm not mistaken, the only Georgia school that Trenton Flowers had on his list was Georgia State.
That can't happen, bro.
So now I'm gonna ask this question because I'm not giving Georgia Tech a pass, but I also don't want because people are gonna clip this and send it to Damon Stoudemire, like all it. I don't think it's about the head coach. I think Damon is gonna do well. You can't there's no conversation that could come up that will make me believe that Damon Stoudemire does not know basketball. Like, come on.
Oh, no.
Like, he's going to be able to not only coach the game from an X and O standpoint at a high level, but he knows what the development is supposed to look like as well. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Most of the head coaches at the high major level, at this level, are not doing individuals themselves. So I'm not going to say he's going to be, or say how hands-on he's going to be with the development of the point guards. But in that film room, it ain't nothing that nobody's going to be able to tell him, bro. Like, come on. So I don't want to go there. To me, it's not about the head coach, right? It's not solely about the head coach. I do believe he needs to hire a very strong staff, and you got to hire some Georgia guys on that staff. But I would say that to anybody. People, so this is the weird thing to me when it comes to this, because people keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again, and not recognizing the trends, right? Amir came to Kennesaw State. Amir is a Georgia guy. But Dave, you talk to as many high school coaches as I do. Tell me one high school coach in the entire state, out of all the people that we talk to, that's ever had a bad thing to say about Persian Williams. Every time I bring Persian's name up to a high school coach in anywhere in the state, oh yeah, I love Persian. He's been in our gym. He's seen our kids. Showing love. He connected. I saw Josh Pashner out a lot recruiting. When did we see the rest of that staff? Who on that Georgia Tech staff, right, outside of the head coach? Because we're supposed to know the assistants way more than we know the head coach.
They was in other states, bro. They was at EYBL. They was at Under Armour. They was at Three Stripes. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be there, no, but to your point of what you're getting at, like, yes, we saw Josh Pastner.
Same thing. Who was the Georgia guy on Georgia Southern staff?
Great point.
That's a great point.
Mercer, I'm about to look at you.
I'll give Mercer a partial pass.
Hey, we all love Kim. Come on, dog. But
I'm about to say, I see Kim. I see Kim. I get what you're saying. I see Kim, but if we're going to be 100,
we all love him, B.
Let's see him sporadically. Yeah, I'll give you that.
We all love him. But it's a.
But anybody else, I couldn't tell you when I see the rest of Mercer staff.
It's a difference though. We went from not ever seeing Kennesaw State anywhere to Amir getting hired, him putting together the staff with Persian and Ben and the rest of those guys, to now you can't go to an event where you don't see them.
They pull up. They definitely pull up.
It's another level of embracing the city. And I feel like the crazy thing is how Mark just outlined all the amazing talent that's in the state of Georgia. But I feel like people automatically feel like because they hire a certain head coach or whatever, that they can overlook the relationship part and you just automatically going to get players. It has not worked. And now you don't have to just fight with Amir. You got to fight with Jonas and Jarvis because they not about to play around with you.
And Jonas and Jarvis be in the gym. Now we can say that. They be in the gym.
Facts. And they're going to be a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Because they really love the city. It's not fake. It's not one of those, you know what I'm saying?
Political.
Yeah, no. It like people have, I feel like, discount the IQ of Georgia basketball people. You come down here, you think it's a football state, and you think you just gonna come down here and smile and shake a few hands and you're gonna walk away with a million players. Oh, I know this one guy over here, I know that one guy over here. And I'm not talking about David Stoudemire at all, but I'm saying the previous coaching staffs that we've seen that have struggled. I don't remember the last time we saw somebody that was really plugged in to the state of Georgia and to the city of Atlanta that was run out of town. Like, you're gonna do, like, Ron Hunter chose to leave. Coach Rob Lanier chose to leave. Those are staffs at Georgia State that we saw plugged in the city all the time. That still hit the line. Hey man, just checking in with you. How you doing? Like, it was never fluff with those staffs. And they came, they won, go to the NCAA tournament, decided, hey, I'm bouncing, I'm gonna take another job. I won't stop saying better job because I think Georgia State is a damn good job too. But why is Georgia Tech not? How could it be that Kentucky is your dream school and Georgia Tech was point guard you at one point in time? Why is Georgia Tech not anybody's dream school?
So I think it's not point guard you still.
Right, and like I think it's twofold. I feel like kids these days, if you ask a kid right now, a high school point guard, and who is Jerry Jack, what's the answer you think is going to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of kids don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Stephon Marbury went to Georgia Tech. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like we know what Georgia Tech once was at its pinnacle and at its heights, but the average high school kid nowadays has no clue unless they're they got a dad or an uncle or somebody in their life that's informing them about Georgia Tech. So I think that's part of it, and then I think Georgia Tech, no previous staff has done a good job of like reminding kids of like a point guard or just anybody say to Georgia what they can really be like at its pinnacle. Because you know what I'm saying? Like nobody really knows that unless you're from an older generation. And even my generation, like not a lot of kids, guys my age understand what Georgia Tech really is if you're not really deep in the basketball community to understand it. And so now we're asking 16, 17, 18-year-olds to be like, hey, like, I remember having pairs of Stephon Marbury shoes. Them guys have no clue what those are. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to get. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of great guards. I mean, if I was Damian Stoudemire, the first call I'm making right now, one of my most underrated guards, is to the guard over at Riverwood. I'm calling Karis Ball right now. Like, because that's a kid right there where I say you cannot let him leave. And I love Stackhouse, but you cannot let Jerry Stackhouse right now keep that guy committed for 2 years and sign him and he's gone. You can't let a talent like that lead a state.
And to your point, Mark, Karras would make sense for Georgia Tech because, like you said, with him being a Vandy kid, Karras is a high academic kid, and that fits
Absolutely.
Georgia Tech's mantra. You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
That's what, and that's why I said that's the other part of it, academics part. So when you have somebody like Karras, who's not only is going to be an academic qualifier for you, but he can really like real deal hoop. Oh, like you really can't lose out on him. If I'm like, that's why if I'm Damian Stoudemire, that's one of the first calls I'm making, even before I hire a staff. Is like, yo, who is this kid that's going to Vanderbilt? That's this 4-star guard, out of Atlanta. Like you can't lose on a kid like that. And I say that after, playing him early this year. Like that kid is, if you can play the SEC, the kid's nice. Like I ain't never watched film on a kid at 2 a.m. and was like trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with him the next day. And that kid had me trying to like stress on what do I want to do on pick and roll coverages. Don't get the ball out of his hands, like am I gonna blitz him? Am I gonna face guard him? Like he's that type of a headache. And I just feel like you can't let a kid like that, especially like you said, Dave, speaking from the standpoint of just he's gonna be able to get in academically as well. You can't let it with talent plus academics like that. Tech can't let him leave. But back to Mondre's point, like, I joked, I was telling Sean, I said, bro, if I was Damon Stoudemire, I'd hire y'all two out the get-go. You got to have somebody that's plugged into the state. You know what I'm saying? Like especially like, in terms of like, Amir and Jonas and Jarvis Hayes, like those Georgia guys, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm Damian Stoudemire, like I really got to make sure that I have the right personnel around me who really know this state top to bottom. Not just Atlanta, but like Augusta, Macon. You know what I'm saying? Like, because think about it. Jonas and Jarvis when they got the point guard from Grovetown down in Augusta. That kid is nice. That kid's a winner. I love his game a lot. 6'4" point guard. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens when Jarvis and Jonas are plugged into the state. You see what I'm saying? Like if I'm Damien, I'm getting guys like my staff is going to be. You can almost split it up and say, okay, I got a guy for Atlanta, I got a guy for Macon, and I got a guy for Augusta. And if you just recruit those three areas, you'll win. Like it's a proven fact. If you recruit Georgia, you'll win. And that's how I would break it down. Now, whether they have to be full-time assistants or a player development coach or recruiting coach, whatever the title they may need to have. But that's how I'm going to assign somebody to each part of those sections to where we're not going to lose out on kids like that anymore.
It's a good point. It's a great point. You still got to go after, your top 100, top 150 kids. Yes, you do. But to both of you all's point, like, you can't be missing out on these Atlanta kids where we're watching them go other places and put in work. And you got to be scratching your head to say, we're not getting one. I'll give you one. And, a lot of people missed the boat on this kid, and he's going to Illinois. He's Cohen Carr.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Michigan State.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I said Illinois. Michigan State, my bad. But, bro, like,
crazy.
Cohen, like, people look at him. He's so athletic. He fits Izzo's system. Like, he's a hard nose, and man, that body has gotten. It looked like he's been in. Hey, shout out to Legacy Early. Whatever y'all doing up there, y'all got that boy right. Y'all got him right.
Hey man, make sure y'all jump in the chat, bro. Join the conversation. Y'all can jump. I'm gonna pull you on the stream. Go to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're in love of the game on the YouTube channel, man. Look at the top of the chat and look at the top of the chat, man, and grab that link and jump on, man. I'm gonna add you in. See y'all in here. So I had a lot so I wanted to have a reasonable conversation again about the Georgia Tech job. And I wanted to do that because we was having a conversation in group chat. And I was telling the fellas, I was like, yo, like, man, of course we're gonna support Damon Stoudemire, bro. Like his kids went to school here, bro. And it's Damon Stoudemire, bro. Like, of course we're gonna support Damon Stoudemire, man. Like,
I hope he brings back point guard you. You know what I'm saying?
But
he would be the ideal person to do it.
But it's a lot more to trying to get Georgia Tech to become Georgia Tech than who the head coach is. And that's all I was trying to shine light on, is that part of supporting him is like trying to get the right guy. Like, I don't even want to go. I had my list of people I wanted Georgia Tech to hire. I was planning to, had they not moved so fast with the hire, I was planning to do a stream. I had a full breakdown, breaking down my case. It came down to two guys for me, and I ain't even gonna put it out there like that. It is what it is. I'm sure they know who they are and who I wanted, but guys that have a tremendous track record of recruiting the state. But he's gonna still, with the head coach being who it is, of course we're gonna show love. Of course we're gonna embrace him. But now I'm watching to see who the staff is going to be. Because it's vital, because it's important. But I'm gonna show you, and the reason why I say some of the things are above the head coach, I'm gonna show you guys what kind of concerns me. And I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I wasn't the one that said it. But come on, bro. Come on, bro. And I hate to do that because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to do Damon Stoudemire filthy, because I'm not.
Right.
Like, he's here. They made their decision. He's here. I'm backing it 100%. And I want him to do well. I want him to do well, bro. I want him to do better than well. I want Georgia Tech back in the Final Four. I want him to do better than well. But you know, we know who you know what I mean. I'm gonna let that go. I wasn't the one that said it though. I just want that for the record. I wasn't the one that brought it up. but you feel me? So I want to make sure y'all hear this, man. I'm gonna share the screen, bro. I want to make sure y'all can hear this because, like, I'm gonna take y'all through what my thoughts was as after I watched the press conference at Georgia Tech Factory. Facts. We just keeping it a buck, bro. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing extra, bro. We ain't trying to throw no extra sauce on it. We just, being honest, being real, not being hateful, none of that. At the end of the day, if I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, like Damon Stoudemire, a black coach, bro. Like, I'm rolling.
Right.
I'm locked in. I want you to be successful. All right, we're gonna roll tape. I want y'all to hear this real quick. I'm gonna play a couple minutes of it. Hopefully, this don't get me banned off of YouTube or nothing crazy stuff like that. But I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of the press conference, and I'm gonna show y'all exactly just like where my mind was at. You know what I mean? When I was hearing what I was hearing, I feel like there's a lot you could take away. Hold on, here we go. All right.
That's good.
I want to try to get sound.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Just a few housekeeping items real quick. We're going to start with remarks from all three gentlemen, President Angel Cabrera, Director of Athletics Jay Batt, and our new head coach Damon Stoudemire. Then we'll have a Q&A afterwards. For the Q&A, please do raise your hand so we can get you a microphone for the live broadcast that's going on. So without any further ado, we'll turn it over to Georgia Tech President Dr. Angel Cabrera.
Well, good morning, everyone. And I'm really, really excited to be able to introduce to all of you our new men's basketball head coach. Last night, Jay and I had a chance to go down to Houston to see Coach Stoudemire coach his last game with the Celtics, and I'll tell you the experience was very special to see how everybody reacted to the news, to us. I was wearing my Georgia Tech hat, and everybody from the entire team, the coaches, and the way they reacted to the news, how happy everybody is for Damon, also how sad everybody was to see him go, and yet how happy they were because everybody understood what an important move this is for him. So it was great fun. Only problem, of course, is we ended up getting home very late last night. So this process is going to kill me. So hopefully after this we can relax a little bit. Let me just say a couple of words of appreciation for our prior coach, Josh Pastner. He served us with distinction for 7 years, represented this institution extremely well. served our students with great dedication, and for that I'm most grateful to him for what he's done. I also want to highlight the process that that Jay followed. I've been very impressed of how thorough and speedy, but very thorough search this was, and how he was able to, in a short time, to find us absolutely the right person. I think Jay's own networks throughout the industry, his connections, his trusted sources were essential in completing this search. He has been keeping me in the loop at every single step along the way, and I can tell you, I could not be any more pleased with the search. And lastly, since I've met Damon, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about the new chapter in men's basketball. I'm excited about Damon, about his personality, but also about his deep history with the sport of basketball, both in college, as you all know, and at the professional level. He has played, he has coached. I think he is a walking basketball Wikipedia. His life is basketball, but very, very importantly to me is how much he cares about student athletes. Having been one, having seen firsthand how a young person's life gets gets transformed through intercollegiate athletics, and how really the top obligation that we all have, especially coaches, is to be teachers, is to make those student athletes successful in whatever they do after they graduate. So I'm very excited, and I couldn't be any more pleased with Jay's choice for our new head coach, athletic director, Jay Batt.
Thank you, President Cabrera. I too would echo, this is an incredibly exciting moment in Georgia Tech men's basketball history, and a history that's got tremendous pedigree and past, and we're excited about this new chapter. I'm personally ecstatic to be here with the two men to my right. I'd start off with just a thank you to Dr. Cabrera. His incredible commitment, support throughout this process, and his continued leadership has been incredible. I'd also like to just offer a couple quick words about Coach Passner. Josh is a high quality individual that dedicated incredible amounts of effort into our program. But this was about a standard of excellence for Georgia Tech. We expect to challenge for ACC championships, compete in NCAA tournaments, all while leaning into the incredible athletic history and academic pedigree of this great institution. As you all know, arrived in October, and just like all of our programs, began evaluating our men's basketball program. Used every opportunity to observe and learn, went to practices, traveled, watched, went to games, as you all know. And like every athletic director, built a list for the drawer. Built a good list of high quality coaches, and put it in the drawer as something that would, maybe wouldn't need to do. But at the end of the day, just like all athletic directors, built that list. Last Thursday evening, met with Coach Passner to talk about potential opportunities for improvement in the program. Friday morning, made the decision with President Cabrera's support that we needed to make a change for the long-term health of the program in leadership. Informed Coach Passner of that change on Friday, and our search for a new head coach began immediately. With that search, we wanted to find a coach that had head coaching experience, significant experience in college basketball, someone who's well-respected and connected within all levels of basketball, someone who can recruit elite talent to Georgia Tech, a great role model and relationship builder, someone to be a great fit in Atlanta, someone that understands and embraces not only basketball tradition, but our academic pedigree. And finally, we wanted to find a winner, a competitor who shares our vision for what Georgia Tech basketball can be. Not going to share any details of the search, but I can tell you it started immediately, went swiftly, visited with several nationally renowned coaches that were extremely interested in this job. Search concluded Monday with the Georgia Tech Athletic Association board meeting, where the board accepted our recommendation for this job. The candidate we recommended for approval, sitting to my right, Damon Stoudemire. In Damon, we found just what we were looking for. A proven winner as an athlete in college at Arizona, as well as his long, distinguished playing career in the NBA. Someone with significant college experience, many years as an assistant at several high-level basketball programs, 5 years as a head coach, and building a program at Pacific. And the added bonus of NBA coaching experience with one of the finest NBA organizations in the Boston Celtics. Quickly, just a brief thank you to Brad Stevens and the entire Celtics organization, who were incredibly gracious and helpful throughout the process. We want to find someone who could manage all aspects of today's college athletics environment, someone who's committed to the entire student-athlete experience, committed to helping young men achieve their full potential academically, athletically, and socially while here at Georgia Tech, but also preparing them for life after college. When we talked to Damon, it was clear that he met all these criteria. When we talked to others about Damon, and we talked to lots of athletically and socially while here at Georgia Tech, but also
all right, bro. I promise y'all, stick with me. I want to make a point. I may be belaboring the point a little bit, but I promise you, I thought this through. Right? The question I'm going to ask you is, after what you just heard from the president and the AD, right? I'm going to play a clip from another president and AD, and y'all tell me which administration you feel like is doing the best job, or that you feel like is informed, on top of athletics, and going to do the best job of setting their head coach up for success. I'm gonna play this clip right here, and y'all tell. And that's why I say it takes a whole lot more, bro, than just hiring the right head coach to get a program to the level. Like, I don't even like where they set their goals. Like, I'm gonna go there first. Like, I don't even like where they set their goals. When you tell me this is Georgia Tech and we're talking about, hey, we want to compete for the conference championship, all right, fam. Hey, man, yo, I feel it. Let's go win the conference. Let's go make the NCAA tournament. I feel that, bro. But like, I'm gonna tell Georgia Tech the same thing I told Alexander High School, bro. You have to feel like you that before anybody else gonna feel like you that.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to hear Georgia Tech talking about we want to compete and try to win a conference championship and go to the tournament. That's where he set the goal. We want to go to the tournament.
That's supposed to be the floor.
Georgia Tech, yeah, Georgia. It's Georgia Tech. It's supposed to be Final Four, Elite Eight. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this trying to put pressure on Damon Stoudemire. I'm not trying to say this. Oh, he's got to win right away. He does not. Kenny Payne was 4-28 in his first season, and I'm riding till the wheels fall off, dog. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But I want y'all to see this real quick. I'm gonna share a clip real quick. I'm gonna try to keep it short. Hold on. Let me get to it. And y'all tell me who y'all feel like is informed, who's locked in with athletics, who's going to support their head coach and put them in the best position to succeed. Is it the president and AD that we just heard? Or is it here we go. Little old Western Kentucky out of Conference USA. Little old Western Kentucky out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Most of y'all have never even driven through that town. Ain't nothing there but Western Kentucky and the Corvette plant. But y'all tell me who seems to be more passionate about setting their coach up for success. Hold on.
Here, an important and exciting day for our university, for our athletics program, and for Hilltopper basketball. I want to start this morning by taking a moment to thank Coach Stansberry and Mio and the entire Stansberry family for everything they did for our university, being great representatives, and also everything they created for our program. I also want to recognize Todd Stewart. If you don't know, we have one of the best athletic directors in the country. Congratulations, Todd, for a great search. Now, as a university, we have some high expectations for ourselves. We expect to compete in everything that we do, with instruction, with research, with fundraising, with economic development, and obviously in our athletic performance. We know that there are expectations around Hilltopper basketball, and we are going to meet those expectations. And so I know that we have the right coach to do that. Steve Lutz and his family are going to be tremendous additions to the Bowling Green community, to our university, and to our men's basketball team. And I just want to say this. I remember in 1993, when I was here as a student, what it feels like in Diddle Arena when you go on a run to the Sweet 16. It changes everything in this community, on this campus, for our students, and inside Diddle Arena. And that's what we have to bring back to this university and to this program. But it's not just on Coach Lutz. It's on each one of us to show up. It's on our students. It's on the business community to support this program the way we know it needs to be supported. It also means not just showing up for the big game, because for programs like WKU, every game has to be the big game. And so as much as I'm excited to have Coach Lutz here, this is also a challenge to our entire WKU Hilltopper family. This is on all of us to bring this program back to where we know it can be. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Todd Stewart.
Thank you, Dr. Caboni, and thank you for your support and your guidance through this entire search, as always. And thank you all for being here. Wow, standing room only in a full Hardball Club in March. Appreciate everybody coming out. Certainly a big day for our program. First of all, I'd really like to thank Jim Clark and Dana Brown for their extensive help over the last week. They played a vital role in working with me through every step of this process. And it's a process that ended well because we have a terrific person in place to lead our program. And before we go any further, I'd really like to welcome the Lutz family up here to my right in the front row. Steve's wife, Shannon, his daughters, Caroline and McKenna, and my man, Jackson, right here in the front row. Please welcome the Lutz family. Ten days ago, I was asked what attributes we would be looking for in our new head coach. And I said success in the areas of recruiting, player development, academics, community involvement, and winning would obviously be the keys, and eventually getting us back to the NCAA tournament. A common theme with Steve Lutz is consistent success in all of these areas. If you look at his entire career, but in particular the last 13 years, 7 of which were at Creighton, 4 at Purdue, and then certainly the last 2 at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. He has a proven track record of recruiting success, player development, academic success, community involvement, and winning. And while making that impact, being respected by so many along the way. When you hire somebody, as we've said many times, and Mark Reardon was a great example, it's always nice if you can hire somebody as your head coach who has head coach experience. But it's even better if you can hire somebody who has winning head coaching experience. And that is exactly what we have here right now. What Steve Lutz did at Texas A&M Corpus Christi was remarkable. He inherited a program that had 4 consecutive losing seasons, was 5-19 the season before he got there, And then in the 2 years that he was there as their head coach, won a regular season championship, 2 conference tournament championships, went to 2 NCAA tournaments, and won an NCAA tournament game. And really, probably his best coaching job was in the last couple weeks. In the conference tournament championship game, in the first 5 minutes of the game, they lost their best player, who was the conference defensive player of the year, and fell down by 16 points. When you're down by 16 points in a conference championship game without your best player, I know there's a lot of coaches in the room here right now, that's not where you want to be. But Texas A&M Corpus Christi came back and won that game, and then won a game in the NCAA tournament. And you don't do that facing that kind of adversity if you don't have players that believe in each other, believe in their head coach, believe in their program, and have that winning culture. And that's what he created in 2 short years there. And that's pretty special to do that in such a relatively short period of time. And in fact, over the last 7 seasons he's been a head coach, every team he's been with has been to the NCAA tournament. 7 consecutive years this man has coached in the NCAA tournament. So when you add all that up, Steve Lutz is the right person at the right time to lead WKU basketball. So please join me in welcoming the 16th head coach in WKU men's basketball history, Steve Lutz.
Hey, man. Now, y'all tell me. We all just listen to the same thing. Y'all tell me. Whose staff do you feel like was more informed about their decision, was more educated, and more passionate about what they were doing? Hey, if you're the visiting pastor at a new church, who you want doing your intro, bro?
Yeah, it's not even, bro. Bro, it's not even close, bro. It's like,
who do you
it's
want?
like, bro, it's not even close, dog. And it's crazy because like it makes you feel like, damn, like bro, I'm just sitting there and I'm in the comments, I'm fired up, bro. That made me like feel like I'm ready to play for that coach right now. You know what I'm saying? Like 7 straight years in the NCAA tournament, he in the conference championship down 16, found a way to win the game without his best player. Like that got me ready to go right now. Like I feel like Georgia Tech right off Wikipedia, bro. With all due respect, bro, it's like, hey man, let's just print this Damian Stoudemire
Respectfully.
With all due respect, bro, because like they said they went from Friday, and then they had a decision made by Monday, so you didn't gather much information. So it's like you just Googled Damian Stoudemire's career accolades and said, let's just read this because I think it'll sound good. Versus the previous, like like that president. Like I said, it's just different, bro. Like like that president was like, bro, we expect to win. Like we're not hoping to win. Like we expect to win. We expect to be in the NCAA tournament. These are expectations. Like Georgia Tech is going to have the vibe of like, I hope Damian's the guy. I hope we can win. I hope we can compete. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Dave. Like we wish. Like.
And see, I'm putting this out here now because if they struggle early, the light of this is going to be on Damian Stoudemire. When I'm showing you that, just like Western Kentucky said, it's going to take all of us. It's going to take the fans doing their part. It's going to take administration doing their part. It's going to take the SID doing his part or her part. It's going to take the AD being locked in to make sure that I'm giving my coach everything that he needs to be successful. I am removing roadblocks for my head coach. And to me, the Western Kentucky AD sound like he was ready to do that. When you come into the press conference and you're able to explain, well, the AD for Western Kentucky didn't have to read his iPad. He knew the guy and what they wanted at 100%. 100%. And again, I'm not saying that Georgia Tech didn't get the right guy. What I'm saying is, how fired up is the administration to remove the roadblocks out of his way and to make sure that he can do a good job?
Right.
How well did they communicate and do expectation setting. I always tell the kids that we coach, D, hey man, happiness is a function of expectation. If our expectations are aligned, we can be happy with each other. But based on a press conference, I don't know whose expectations is where, because they weren't as clearly defined as what we saw. Nobody on the Western Kentucky administration front ducked the expectation. We know what it is. Basketball is important here. We're not taking a step back. We expect a certain level of excellence, and we're going to deliver. And here's why I think this guy is going to deliver on all of those things. They talked about at Georgia Tech, they talked about they trip to Boston. Oh, we met Brad Stevens. Bro, what are we talking about?
Oh no.
Bro, like
All facts.
they're gonna, bro. Okay, we know, like you mentioned, D. Georgia Tech is an academic school, man. You the tough academic requirements. You're gonna have to be able to get kids in, whatever. Okay, so it's Duke.
Great point.
Why is Georgia Tech any? Why is the expectation any different than Duke? Shoot, we saw Princeton go into the tournament and go win a game.
Made it Sweet 16.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to remove roadblocks so he can go get guys, and I need to know that they're on board with that.
And you make your questions. That questions that you hope he asks.
I'm gonna say this, like, to your point of what you all both said. Okay, it's quite evident, and since the time we met years ago, first thing I told you is, "Oh, you're from Kentucky. That's a basketball state." You know what I'm saying? Like, from Western Kentucky to Louisville, shoot, even Bellarmine, like, it's a different breed. Like, you can tell that president is a fan, not a president. He's a fan. You can tell if he wasn't the president of Western Kentucky, he'd be up in there. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's the type of guy that you can see at the games with a WKU shirt on, the whole nine. Like, you can feel that passion. You know what I'm saying? Whereas
Making sure
Georgia
you get
Tech,
what you
like,
need.
this is business. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we want y'all to win because it helps us look good, but and again, like we all are saying, anybody that's listening to this, of course, we're going to embrace Damon Stoudemire. Damon Stoudemire is a very knowledgeable guy. He was the truth when he played too. So let's
And a
not get it twisted.
pro. He's
Yeah,
a pro, 100%.
absolutely. And he did. So again, if we're going to go by knowledge, and for you people that don't know, he did a heck of a job coaching at Pacific. And people don't know
Absolutely.
about that. Like, that's really what impressed me with him as a coach. Like, I knew he could play, but dude, he had Pacific on the map. And people will be like, who? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So people, and Mark, like you said, like, if you're going to do that Wikipedia for David Stoudemire, like, you got to get in depth, like, not just, oh, here's his accolades. Like, no, that dude could really coach when he was at Pacific. And I'm telling y'all, like, it's exciting, but it's kind of like, we're all like, who's he going to hire to, as a staff, right? Like you said, I think we're having this talk, and it's not premature because it's good, healthy conversation, but he got to have somebody tied to Atlanta. Like you said, Mark, he got to have somebody tied to Atlanta. That's just what it is. And, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Damon, how could you if you didn't? But if you don't win, then you're going to have the locals like, well, bro, you got some of the coldest talent in the country right here.
Right. But then too, like,
what I look at E2 is like, okay, he wants to hire somebody on his staff, and he needs more money to get it done. Are you gonna give it to him? Are y'all gonna clear that
Yep.
roadblock? I got one of the top players in the country. I need to make sure he gets in school. Let's say it's borderline. He's close. Am I gonna have a problem in admissions? Damon Stoudemire don't even have no problems with getting a kid in school, bro.
That's a good point.
He don't need to have no problems with getting a kid in school, bro. Like come on, bro. Like now I see if the recruiting was flagrant and it was just wildly out of bounds, okay, if you're trying to go back to the old Prop 48 days, like I understand why that would not be a comfortable experience for anybody at Georgia Tech. But like tell me the last big time program like Georgia Tech that says, oh, we could still be good, but just our academics are really bogging us down at like what blue blood is saying that? Georgia Tech is supposed to be a blue blood.
Yes, but okay, hear me out on this. Georgia Tech is in between what you're just saying in Northwestern.
Right. What they're in between is Dave, and I'm gonna tell you this: they're in between what they were and let Georgia State get a different shoe deal. Keep playing. Yeah. Keep playing, and Georgia State come out them Under Armours and see what happened. Okay, nobody. Okay, Dre tripping again. Okay.
That's a great point, bro. That's a really good point. I mean, and listen, and hey, for anybody that's Under Armour executives, Georgia Man Up used to be Under Armour, so don't kill us. Don't kill us.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I like Under Armour shoes. We just all know that it matters to the kids.
Yeah, and that's true. Yeah.
And this is somebody, and I'll go based off of my school, right? For years, the Louisville Cardinal fan base has begged to get out of our Adidas deal. And I'm going to tell y'all how crazy it is. We have one of the biggest shoe deals in the country. Our shoe
Adidas
deal
dropped that bag for Louisville.
Our shoe deal with Adidas is one of the most lucrative. It is more lucrative than the University of Kentucky's Nike deal. There are fans right now that would write a check themselves to get us out of that deal and go to Nike because of the recruiting. Solely because of the recruiting, bro. The uniforms that they gave us are crazy. Like, they look great. They traded in, hey, bro, they deny them like Judas right now if they could get a good Nike deal. But Georgia Tech, keep playing around. Let Georgia State get a different shoe deal, and it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Y'all better support Damon Stoudemire. You got Adidas. Y'all out of that Russell Athletic craziness that y'all was in. You got Adidas over there. You better clear the obstacles and the challenges and the roadblocks for Damon Stoudemire so that he can make Georgia Tech the problem nationally that it should be, man. Don't act like Kennesaw State and Georgia State ain't nipping at y'all heels for supremacy.
But I also feel like I think another problem that we have in this state, and even at this high school level, is the lack of support from ADs and principals, right? And so, like, what I speak on is like, right, I won't get into details because I hate to nitpick, right? But like one example that I like, because Dave, you mentioned it about like West Kentucky's president being at the game in t-shirt cheering them on, right? So when I'm at Georgia State watching the Final Four, I see Will, the high school principal, he's over there with the cheerleaders, making jokes, laughing, showing the involvement to the kids. He's sitting on the bench, or if he wasn't sitting on the bench, he was right behind the bench. You know what I'm saying? Supporting the guys. The guys see his face. I think that's very vital. Just at this level, right? You know what I'm saying? So that way these guys understand, like, oh, my principal supports me, my athletic director supports me. You know, like the principal got to approve all these out of town trips. You know what I'm saying? Like I always joke with Larry and tell Larry, "Oh, you on the world tour this year?" You know what I'm saying? Like every time I look it up, Larry in California, he in Texas, he in Ohio. But like it goes to show the support that he has at Wheeler High School, because you have some ADs who's not going to clear that. You got some principals is like, I don't care how good you are, like you're not going on. We're not taking our kids out of school. They're not missing this many days just for quote unquote basketball. You know what I'm saying? Versus you got some schools who are quick to, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's where it all starts right there. We're just having that genuine support. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have that, if you don't have somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to look out, you know, and I don't want to get too hard and deep in that, right? But like, let's just use an example, right? If I'm a head coach at the high school level, right? I got 4 Form Bs, right? One AD is gonna say, no problem. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make sure this is good because I want to see our program win. You know what I'm saying? Versus another AD that's like looking at you kind of crazy, like, how you got 4 Form Bs? You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yep.
like that right there is like, okay, that tells you right there what type of support you're about to have at the school. And that's why I go back and I say, I hope Damian Stoudemire did his research before he just took this job to make sure that he understands what type of support that he's either about to have or he's not going to have. Because like you said, Dre, if there's somebody, I don't know what tech standards are for admissions, but let's just say somebody got a 3.0. You gonna tell Damon Stoudemire he can't get in because he got a 3.5? But he's the best player in the state of Georgia. You see what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
so I hope Damian, because at some point in time, as coaches, we got to make sure that we're not walking into a situation just because we want to, like you said, Dre, not so much a better job, but just, you know what I'm saying? We all have a certain type of dreams and aspirations. But like the saying go, all money ain't good money. And so just because it's Georgia Tech and not Pacific, I'm pretty sure Damon Stoudemire, matter of fact, I know he had more support at Pacific because he coached a couple of my high school teammates. And I know he told me like the support that they got there with them trying to build that program up. So I hope, you know what I'm saying, he has that same type of support. Because if he gets that same type of support he had at Pacific, I think he'll be fine. But if it's anything less, it's going to be an uphill battle.
Well, Mark, you touched something, and I feel like since you can't really talk, I feel like I can. Especially with Atlanta basketball, sometimes it come down to not even the school, it be these school districts, bro, for the county. Like, bro, some of these county districts, when I hear some of the stipulations as to why sometimes AD's hands are tied, sometimes it's not just school A, it's that whole district of school. You're like, what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that got to change right there. And I'm not gonna call that district out, but that got to change. Some of that pasturing going on, and because it's always been that way, it's hurting kids. Plain and simple.
You got to decide what it is, and this is it, and we'll end it here, man. I wasn't planning on going more than an hour. We're almost 2 hours in, but I want to end it here, man. Like, I'm gonna say this. Schools are who they are for a reason.
Yep.
Just like we can pretty much year to year tell you what teams are going to be good in high school basketball without even looking at the roster.
Facts.
Yes.
We know what Augusta basketball going to do every year. Grovetown, West Side, like Spencer, somebody coming out of there in that Augusta area. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to be good. We know what schools in Savannah. It's 3 schools in Savannah. Take your pick. One of those 3, maybe all of those 3 are going to be good every year. South Georgia. We know who gonna be good. Every year. We know who gonna be good, regardless, roster, whatever. We know who gonna be good. Those schools know who they are. They're connected. Like Carlos keeps putting in here, connection. Talking about the ADs not connecting or respecting the culture, but everybody wants a winner.
Mm-hmm.
Louisville, I'm gonna say this: Louisville was good because we had Tom Jurich at the top. And if you don't believe me, look past Rick Pitino and the basketball and see every other sport that had success during Tom Jurich's 22-year run at the school. We're one of the only programs in the country that had the men's basketball team and the women's basketball team in the Final Four at the same time. Football had a Heisman Trophy winner, won the Orange Bowl, won the Sugar Bowl, same AD. People cried at the University of Louisville when Kenny Klein retired. Kenny Klein is the sports information director. See, when it comes to these programs, it ain't just the head coach. It ain't just the head coach. You got to have a support staff around that head coach that are aligned and moving in the same direction. And academically, even in that press conference, like Dave said, it felt like business. Academically, I feel like they align. We're going to keep pumping out these incredible engineers at Georgia Tech. Our students, our graduates are going to continue to make millions, and we're going to keep pumping them out because that's what we're the best at. Kudos, congratulations. But are you going to do what you got to do to get this man to help get this man to the Final Four? Is that
in 3 to 4 years?
That part. So, hey man, that's what it is. I appreciate y'all going 2 hours. I was not playing. I told Dave before we joined, I was like, yo, I'm 1 hour and I'm out of here. It never works like that. But appreciate y'all rocking impromptu. I just want to jump on, show y'all some love. I'll probably jump on a lot more often, man. Just be looking out for the link in the chat and join. I'll pull y'all up, man. Hey, fellas, y'all want to show any love? Y'all want to show any shout outs before we get out of here?
Yeah, real quick. We'll probably do something next week, Dre. Between McDonald's, between Final Four, between these camps.
Give me a check-in, bro. Give me a check-in from the McDonald's game, bro.
No doubt. From the HBCU Pro Combine, between the HBCU All-Star game, I'm gonna be running, bro. Running. When I get back to Atlanta, bro, hey, I might sleep for a couple days, bro.
Word up. Hey, I'm gonna try to get one of them check-ins, man, from you, you know what I mean, before you head out to enjoy the festivities.
Definitely.
All good, fellas, man. Hey, y'all take it easy. It's love of the game, man. We out.